Hey guys, in this video, I want to kind of walk you through a real-time estimate for a client. This particular guy, he's out of town. He's a property owner and he contacted us because he needed some things done at this property. And I figured I would just bring you along and kind of show you how that process looks for us whenever we're doing this type of thing for out-of-town clients. Maybe it's something that you can pick up a trick or two that will help you in your lawn care business. So without further ado, let's get out here and let's do a lawn care estimate. So first up, this guy was needing just a general cleanup of the lawn, which I'm looking at it right now. It's in pretty good condition. But he wanted to get it ready for new renters. He's wanting, mulch, flower beds cleaned out, hedge trimming, just some basic property cleanup in springtime. And he also told me to kind of put eyes on the yard, with kind of like a discerning eye and see if there's any sod that needs to be done, or just any recommendations that's just going to help the property be in top shape for the next tenants that come in, and kind of just create a status quo. So a lot of times that's what property owners are looking for. They're wanting a baseline, so when people move in, the obligation of the tenant is to keep that status quo, so whenever this tenant moves out, the property should be as in good or better condition whenever they move out. So that's what I'm going to be looking at on this yard. I'm going to be looking at all the things that I think would make the yard appear better, some things that we can do to just kind of get it cleaned up, and I'm going to document it and I'm going to send it over to them, and I'm going to bring you along for it. Okay, so right out of the gate, the property it's not like overgrown or anything like that. The edges are great. So the property definitely hasn't been neglected. The first thing that sticks out is obviously this right here needs to be addressed. With it being a rental, it might be something that he's not wanting to put a lot of money into, but this was the first thing that stuck out to me as soon as I pulled up. It was kind of like an eyesore on this side of the yard. So I'll kind of get a measurement on this area, and I will work up an estimate for what it would be for us to come in here with a machine, grade it out, till it, bring in some topsoil, and then resod this section of the lawn. So hedges need to be cut back. Flower beds just standing here don't look too bad. Typically, you can come up here and see these things are just way overgrown. But no, these are in good condition. So just some minor weed pulling. We want to get all these shrubs off the house. Shrubs never need to be touching. You want a good, 2-foot gap there, just to give them some room to breathe. So this crepe myrtle needs to be pruned up. This right here, we're going to come in with a Sawzall and take care of all this, and then get rid of the suckers here. For a crepe myrtle of this size, probably looking at about $40 to get that all cleaned up. Just a light haircut here on these little boxwoods. All right, coming around to the other side, this sago needs to be pruned up. The way that we like to do these guys is sometimes you'll see people come in here and then completely just take all these fawns off. And the way that we like to do it is we like to do it at 10 o'clock and then 2 o'clock. So we'll trim everything up from the bottom and give it a 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and that gets air around the trunk, and it keeps the tree from being completely naked looking. This right here needs to be cleaned out. That's kind of just an eyesore. There's nothing that some weed killer can't knock out pretty quickly. Okay, and if you've hung with me this far in the video, I saved the good stuff for everybody who hangs with me in my videos. So here's the little trick for you guys. So if your client is out of town and you feel like it's worth your while to do this, and worth your while, if the property's pushing, an $800 project, $1,000 project or more, and this certainly will be by the time the sod is done, it is worth it to share a video with your client via YouTube through a private video. So what you can do is you will take the video that you use to discuss the estimate as you are walking the yard. And the way that this helps you is that it provides absolute clarity to your client. That there is no guesswork as to exactly what's going to be done. And while I'm not going to share with you the full video that I send, this prospective client, I am going to show you a little snippet of what I'm talking about. So whenever I send over an estimate for these different things, he knows I'm talking about this palm. I'm talking about this area for this sod, not 5 feet to the left, 5 feet to the right. I'm talking about this exact spot. Hey, so I'm going to send this in the estimate, but just for clarification's sake here, the sod, what I was talking about was going to be 28 feet out this way, which basically puts it even with the side of your house. We're going to cut a line right down the side, so all this will be fresh sod. This is actually pretty good, just needs some fertilization and weed control, but you're gonna have erosion issues with this area for sure. So just for clarification's sake, it's gonna be even with the house right down here all the way to the fence line to the road for this area. So there's no guesswork in any of that. And yes, a lot of this can be done with a phone call, and that's great, but I've just found by putting a little extra touch and a little extra effort on a project that is, $1,000 or more, it really helps us kind of just close those deals a little bit better. It gives the person who is out of town more confidence in you. You are presenting very, very professional. If somebody's willing to take the time to make a private video for them, they appreciate that, man. It's not like they can come and drive 4 hours, in to just make sure the work is done. And that's what they're looking for. So you have to think about it from their perspective. If you were contacting the service and you could not ensure the quality of their work, how would you feel if they documented and sent you a private video telling you exactly what they were going to do to their property? It'd probably make you feel pretty good, right? Well, that was my thinking, and even starting this whenever I did it. I've done this for several years. And I only do it for out-of-town clients, for clients who, typically are going to be spending a decent amount with us. And for me, anything over $1,000, you're getting a private video just to kind of discuss what we're going to be doing at your lawn. Whenever you're contacted by an out-of-town client who needs some work done, put a feather in your cap by creating them a private video via YouTube. Guys, it's 21st century. Start taking advantage of all this, free technology and free stuff that's out there, man. It just really sets you apart from the competition and gives people the confidence that whenever you send them over, a chunk of change for a decent project, they say, hey, man, this guy's got his stuff together. He's on the ball, and I know that the project's going to be done right. All right, guys, that's your tip. I hope everybody's getting ready to absolutely crush the 2023 lawn care season. I know I am, man.